Cheers, everybody. Now, I appreciate I might be rather alone this evening, given that the football's on. So I just want everybody to know, well, I suppose if you're here, you're here. But everybody should know they are completely excused from being anywhere near this. Or catch up later, for God's sake. I know it's the break at the moment. What do they call it? Half time. But I appreciate... hello. We're watching the football. I know, that's my point. So please go and watch the football. Go and support England. And I totally get it. But I'm here anyway. You can ignore me or you can catch up later or whatever you like. And I'm here as per with my glass of Merlot, barefoot. And for those who are new, maybe, evening, this is the Katie's Arms. It's an online, at the moment, pub, but we're trying to bring it to pubs. That's always been the ambition. And it's a place for everybody to laugh, usually at me, and feel better. That's the idea. And it got its name from arms, biceps, but it's supposed to be an online pub. And the thing I want to start, new thing for us, is, and yes, this is one of the largest glasses. It's not just that my head is really tiny, because it's not actually, my head's quite big. This glass is massive. The thing I'm going to start, which I think is very important for us here at the Katie's Arms, is I'm going to start with a toast. Do I play piano? Yes. Well, I used to. I still do. But I did when I was little, as do all people. I played violin and piano like some obnoxious prick and did my grade 8s when I was 14. Anyway, I'm going to start by doing a toast to us. And second half is about to start. Yes, exactly. Go on, bugger off. Go and watch it. And if someone scores, can you tell me, please? Thank you. So it's a toast to us at the Katie's Arms to say bloody well done for surviving another week. And that's what we're going to do each week. So if you've managed to make it through another week in the UK, or wherever you are actually, it's a toast to you. If you haven't topped yourself because you're surrounded by absolute dickheads, some of them probably in your own family, or you're also dealing with retards on a daily basis, you're not allowed to say that word, or in fact just the pure stupidity of life in the UK is really wearing you down. Examples: vehicle emissions tax, ULEZ, penalties for trying to get to work, penalties for trying to park your car, penalties for trying to breathe, penalties if you're caught speeding like 1 mile an hour over something in a 20-mile-an-hour zone, penalties for trying to eat, like if you want to buy some eggs, you know, that's a bit of a stretch right now here in the UK. I mean, how very frickin' dare you want to buy something that comes out the arse end of a chicken that's been there since time began, and there's no way on God's green earth that any kind of avian flu has possibly impacted the pricing of eggs to the extent this is just supermarkets now pissing with your soul and trying to shit on your bloody fried English bloody breakfast. If you're pissed off at the pumps because it's so expensive to fill up your car and your money is just worth shit, and quite frankly, you don't know how you're going to pay your own mortgage, let alone how you might pay a bill to have a light on, and you're staggering around your home dressed like some nomadic Eskimo in 18 blankets and a onesie, and frankly, when you want to take a piss, you can't even find your own friggin' urethra to take a piss from because you're so bonded up because you're not allowed to turn on a heater, let alone turn on a light. And one of these days, someone's going to set fire to their own chuffing polyester onesie from Primark that they're sheltering in because they're carrying a frigging candle because they can't turn on a light. You know, I'm just giving you a sense of life here in the UK at the moment. And it's not like I'm complaining and it's not like I'm having a rant about it. But the way I see it, the only way we're going to get through this is by laughing at it, by me taking the piss out of myself in any way that we need me to, and by drinking. And I tell you, I've already taken out biscuits and cups of tea to our recycling boys here because I've told them they're going to have to do some pretty friggin' heavy lifting over the next sort of, I don't know, how long is it going to be perpetually dark for? And another thing here in the UK, 5 p.m. here, 5 p.m, so earlier today, not a soul on the road, not a person anywhere, completely deserted, no one. 5 p.m, pitch black. And I seriously thought to myself, wait a minute, have I completely been a complete Joey Deacon? And can't say that either. And have I like woken up wrong or looked at a different country's timing? Or have I, have I set my clock wrong? Like, is it 9 p.m? And it wasn't, it was 5 p.m. It's just that no other bastard is leaving their house because it's so dark out there and no one's out there, no one's going out there. I literally could have been in a zombie apocalypse as a nomadic Eskimo. I may never see another living person again. I had to physically go and speak to someone to check I wasn't, like there had been some sort of nuclear event, which is not altogether impossible given that we're determined to keep prodding Russia until he drops a nuke on someone's head, even though he doesn't want to. I literally thought, where is everyone? What is everyone doing? Is everyone hiding in their homes? Has someone built a bunker that I haven't been invited to, which I appreciate would happen. In the event of a nuclear situation, there would be bunkers built and I would be disinvited or banned from being allowed to go to them. Right, I have a lot of things we have to get through. Everybody drink. I know you're watching the football. Go and watch it. We're here, you're there. That's beautiful. 2 things can happen. Watch this. Pen, drink. Watch this. I'm going to write as I drink. Ready? Writing and drinking. My point is, you see the analogy? You can do 2 things at once. So you can watch the football whilst I'm here chitty-chatting. That's okay. Now, so much to say. Number 1, Michelle Mone. And oh, Christ. You know when you turn your phone round accidentally from underneath and you're like, oh my God, who is that saggy-faced old cow that's like all her flesh is falling off her face? And then you realise it's you and you're like, that. Michelle Mone. Oh, 9 a.m. here, too early for the wine. No, not at all. I absolutely... Now, we know that my medical science degree never happened, but I think day drinking could be the way we get ourselves through this. I'm just saying, if you're thinking, shall I top myself, to end this, or shall I day drink? I think day drink. Have a little day drink. Maybe have a sleep. Maybe when you wake up, it'll be daylight and you're feeling better. Obviously not medical advice, but that's just a suggestion for you. So, Michelle Mone, let me tell you, you might not remember, or back in the day, doesn't matter. There was a show called The Apprentice and I was on it. I got to the very end of that friggin' thing, which was never supposed to happen because I was supposed to come out somewhere near the middle and people would think, oh, she's kind of cool, she's kind of fun, she's kind of, woo, she's got a good vocabulary. Got to the bloody end of the thing and got offered my place in the final, literally sitting there thinking, fuck, I don't want to work for that twat, there isn't really a job, and you have to sit, yes, exactly, come on England, you have to sit in Brentwood for 4 months waiting for TV land to catch up with real life land. And I was like, I am not sitting in Brentwood for 4 months waiting for some spazzy TV show to go to air so that I can go, woo, I got the job that isn't really a job working for a short guy. No. Anyway, Apprentice, blah, blah, blah. Right, you get the gist. So there's a show after The Apprentice. Someone's saying about a badge. Yes. So when you buy a badge, I think Instagram takes a gazillion pounds and I get like 20p. So it's really, really kind of you, and I'm very grateful. But if you want to just come on Katie's arms instead, you can buy an actual badge that says Offerty Piss, which is much more fun. But I do so. That's very kind. Anyway, back to Apprentice. So I quit The Apprentice and I was like, well, my first take was brilliant. It was like, listen, Lord Shug. Well, it was Sir Alan. There's a lot of people around this table that are a whole lot more desperate than me. So I'm going to love you and leave you. And thank you so much for the experience. And off I went. And I was forced to reshoot that whole thing and sort of say some stuff like, blah, 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 you know, oh, you know, thanks so much, but you know, childcare. I had to make up this bullshit like female excuse for leaving, which was never the truth of any of it. I just didn't want to work for that little shit or sit in Brentwood. I mean, who lives in Brentwood? I don't even know what Brentwood is. Anyway, there's a programme after it called You're Fired, right? I think I'm preaching to the converted, people that already know this, but it's a show you go on and essentially the audience gets to rip the shit out of you and you get to be humiliated and they're all pre-prepared with all their lines and their shit clips of you looking like a dickhead, but you still go on that show because contractually you're obliged. And actually I wasn't because I had quit, but I still went on because if you can't laugh, even back then, right, I was already laughing at myself quite a lot. And the producers were real happy I was going on. But on the panel, if you can remember, was Michelle frickin' Mone, the tacky-ass bra lady that's trending all over the place, that's on the front page of The Guardian today for stealing, allegedly, 29 million of your money that went on the fraudulent PPE contract. Remember all of that shitty pretend to be, you know, protected from COVID bullshit. Her husband, new husband, took like 70 million and she took 30 million-ish, and the BBC have been silent. They won't report it at all. Bear in mind, when Bedford got rid of me the other week, there was 50 signatures on the petition and one theatre pulled, and the BBC News went crazy over me and 50 signatures on a petition. Michelle Mone allegedly steals, Baroness Mone steals 29 million, silence. Anyway, back to You're Fired. She's on the panel and she's like, ba ba ba, boo 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 boo, what did she say? You bring shame, you bring shame on businesswomen everywhere. And that wasn't about, and that was just to do with my style of doing things, which is basically where I cut the shit out and just tell people they're crap if they're crap, which, you know, wasn't meant unkindly. I think it's actually, you know, like a dog. If a dog's dying, you know, I don't really agree with the Irish vet dude that's like, don't worry, we'll graft on a 15th leg and we'll, you know, remove half the heart, but, you know, have this bionic thing. Put the friggin' thing out of its misery, let it die. You know, it was pretty ugly in the first place. Let the manky old dog die. Well, that was my approach on The Apprentice, right? Which was, tell people, if people are stupid, let's get rid of them. You know, let's get this thing moving. Let's get people we can actually win with, which is what I did. Anyway, she's there and she's basically slagging me off to high heaven. The audience is kind of with me a bit because they see that she's being a knobber. But anyway, that was Michelle Mone. And me and her carried on this kind of, I knew the first time I saw her, when you know, women know. We know when we meet a woman who cheats. We know when we meet a guy who's not quite right. We know when we meet someone who's, something's a bit off with them, but we don't know what yet. So I knew, oh, a badge. Yes, you can go to katiesarms.com. Mark has them, ofty piss. You can wear it on your lapel. We can even make it into earrings if you really hate your mother-in-law at Christmas. I knew something wasn't right with Michelle Mone because she's really cheap, really tacky, and yet she's also done, and her boob thing, and then over the years it's got worse. So the teeth have got bigger, the face has got higher, the photo shopping of her waist, because she's quite a chunky monkey really, but the photo thing, and then even weirder, and this is, hold on, I need a drink. Okay, this is way oversharing, but I've kept this for, how long was The Apprentice ago? What am I, 47, 28, 38, 40, so like 20 years. 20 years of sitting on my news about Michelle Mone. Right, hold on. It really is a big glass. I could keep a family of frigging goldfish in here. I don't mean in the Merlot. Dead in the morning. I mean, they'd be pissed though, wouldn't they? So they wouldn't know they died. Back to Michelle Mone. So I always knew something was weird. Then get this. I went to work at The Sun. So I was their columnist on a Friday. Don't mind me saying. Great columns, better than anyone else's. That was proven by the numbers. because I just said what I fucking well thought, which did lead to my arrest and threatened with imprisonment and Rupert Murdoch wanting me fired and 300,000 people signing a petition to get me fired. But that's not the point. The point is I was at the Sun. And weirdly, Michelle Mone had this weird way of being allowed to do what she wanted at the Sun. So like if she was launching a new this, it got put in the Sun. If she like had a shot of her like with her boot, I don't think she did that noise. She's got hairy feet. Has she? Has she? Probably. Anyway, she's definitely chunky. She's not the size that she portrays herself as. Like, she's a chunky monkey. And she used to be even chunkier. Like, so she's got a special treatment at the Sun. Weirdest thing, I don't know if she banged Murdoch. Because when you think about Jerry Hall, Michelle Mone, similar Pamela. Just saying. Then I went to work for Daily Mail. They got me from the Sun. And at Mail Online, same thing, right? Lord Rothermere, who runs, like he's the super uber, he, I don't know, I was doing pretty well for the Daily Mail, like numbers wise, like way more numbers than Piers Morgan, just saying. I was on a boat in Cannes because I was working. I was facilitating their celebrity panels. I was running some of the speaking events. I was hosting stuff. I was basically being a Daily Mail person, making sure everything was great. The advertisers were great. Oh, nearly knocked my wine over, but saved it. So anyway, who should turn up? Michelle Mone on the Daily Mail yacht, which was friggin' massive. At the dinner with Lord Rothermere, there she is. She doesn't even work for the Daily Mail. She had no part to play. She wasn't on any of the panels, my panels, nothing. But there she was. Again, weird. And what I'm trying to say is I never quite knew how it all fitted together, but I definitely knew something was going on with that woman. So whether she banged Murdoch and Lord Rothermere, and then she was made a baroness, when you think about it. Or whether she knows where the skeletons are buried, but that's not true because she's just not smart enough. She's dumb as a box of rocks. But something went on with Michelle Mone. And now the BBC won't report on the story that she took 29 million of your money. And no one can talk about this because I can't say it to anyone because I'm not allowed to speak in the media. And also you wouldn't be allowed to say this because the media barons would sit on it. But something, whoever, I think the gentleman is called Con, but anyway, at The Guardian for digging and digging and digging. Bloody genius. And I did a video the other day about sometimes all you have to do is wait. And it's so true. Because Michelle Mone now, I'm hoping, she'll be gone. Right, let me tell you about Bedford. If you were with us last week or you've signed up to katiesarms.com, which is just lovely Mark and us keeping you in touch, you'll know that we had, for my UK tour, we had a whole number of theatres actually. Bedford was one. And all that has to happen is just one person say, oh, well, doobie-doobie-doobie-doobie-doo. She once said that this and this. And very often it's not actually what I ever said. It's just sort of folklore that became blown out of all proportion. Anyway, one person started a petition. 50 people signed it, maybe, but exactly that number. And Bedford Corn Exchange pulled the venue. And you guys have been amazing. So you started a petition. Someone did 1,500 signatures. I think it's like 1,600 people have said, look, just let her be. Let her, anyone that wants to go, go. Anyone who doesn't. So the petition's much bigger. The Express reported that I had my show cancelled because of Islamophobia. The show is called Live, Laugh, Love. It doesn't even talk about a single dang other religion. Anyway, they had to, and they have now amended their headline. The damage is done, but they have had to amend their headline. And the newspaper that started the story and created it has changed their headline, has had to retract the Twitter account that they linked me with that isn't mine. And they've had to post stuff on the woman who created all of this issue to say that, you know, we're going to go after her as well. The point is, Bedford Corn Exchange have not reinstated the show. The mayor of Bedford, just so you know, I wrote to him. I offered to do the show for him or for the council. I offered to go and meet him so he could see this is all there is. It's not very scary, and this is all there would be on the stage is this, except bigger, louder music. It's going to be great. So nothing as yet in terms of reinstatement, but that's what went on with Bedford. And I'm so grateful to everybody who helped, because even though we might not win the war, we won many battles. We won the Battle of the Express, the Battle of the Bedford Independent, the Battle of the Mayor, and the Battle of the Petition. And, you know, the Mayor said, it wasn't me that got you cancelled. Why don't you try some other venues in Bedford? So I don't know now who's holding out on me, but please know that we won many battles. Right, I haven't even drunk a full glass of wine yet, but people are asking what I drink. Now, my husband, lovely Mark, who works with wine, in fact, he was doing port tasting this week, and he put on his fancy suit and he looked good. And I was like, don't be speaking to any ladies with big boobs. Mark, lovely Mark, has a crush. What's the weather girl called? You'll help me. She's the weather girl that's really balletic. And sometimes she does Marks and Spencer's strawberry ads as well. And she's got really, really perky boobs. Is it, Try the Place in Bedford. Yes, that's on my list. I want to give them a shout. If you live there or you know them, please tell them. So this is the wine I drink. Mark says it's cheap. Obviously no one pays me to promote anything. But it's Barefoot and it is very cheap. But essentially it's like blackcurrant cordial, but it's a wine. Can't go. There we are. Lucy, I love you. Well done, darling. Lucy Vasami. Yes, her. Exactly. Oh, no, not Carol. No, thank you, but no, I know who you mean. It's the Lucy one. And she always wears tops that are really, really... She's got these big, like really good... She had, great. They're really round, but really up. They point towards the ginger dwarf of the north at all times. And then she's really kind of balletic with her... And when the weather comes on with Lucy, I try and distract lovely Mark. I take my top off and stuff like that, but he doesn't even, he still watches the weather. He's like, I really, really need to see what the weather's going to be like tomorrow. Oh, you bastard. Right. Hi. Lucy Lastic, exactly. My best friend at school, and I would love to meet up with her actually, because that would be trouble in a... Ooh, that wouldn't end well. But she's called Lucy, Juicy Lucy. And I got her tickets for... What's that show I was on once with that guy? What's that show with that guy? It's a panel show. Oh, dang it. And it's sort of comedians and stuff. Anyway, I've got her tickets to go on that because I knew them because I'd been on it. And her tits were voted the best tits in the audience. And that was my friend. See? My claim to fame. So let me tell you this, because this is exciting. Oh, who's my celebrity crush? Well, you know, I used to hate Novak Djokovic because I found him to be too, you know, like a bloody robot. But now I love him. I love him so much. I can't even begin to tell you how much I love him. Let me tell you, I am coming on tour in the UK. Now, we did have about 10 venues, and clearly many of these places are run by councils, and it only takes a sniff of one person saying, no, don't let her come, she's mean. Please. For people to pull them down. But let me tell you, so because there's an ask that comes with this. And bear in mind, I always say, please tag Lucy. I can't because I actually think she's really, really cute. I'm just pretending to be jealous, although I am jealous because she does have great tits. Can I tell you, and can I make you an ask, please? So you're not allowed to say this, I don't think, if Mohammed won't come to the mountain. No, if the mountain won't come to Mohammed, Mohammed won't come to... Mohammed has to come to the mountain. Anyway, Earlier I was like, yeah, I'm really good with words. So you're not supposed to use that expression, I understand, because it's Islamophobic. And for Christ's sake, the last thing I need is being branded with that because, you know, all I'm saying is I have tried to come to you. If I can't come to you, I need you to come to me. And I know nobody's got any money. We haven't got spare cash. I know it's really dark in the UK. And I know everything is so expensive, none of us can even friggin' afford to have an egg. Right. So believe me, this isn't about money. I really couldn't give a shit. But I need to ask you, please may you come to me. Because I've tried to come to you and some of these places just wouldn't hold fast. And I'm so sorry. And they would have been great. And my thing is, though, not to be pessimistic about that. Because I've been beaten to the canvas more times than any of us care to talk about. And all we can do each time is get up. And my optimism is that if we can do what I did in Blackpool and what I've done elsewhere, one day these theatres will realise this is harmless, this is pure fun for everyone, and most of it is taking the piss out of me. Let me tell you, May the 6th, where are you on May the 6th? Because you need to be at the Circus Tavern in Purfleet. On May 13th, I get to go back to Blackpool, which I now think of as my home in terms of funniness. So that's May 13. I'll be back in Blackpool with my one-woman show. I have to tell you, the bit I'm looking forward to most is my Beyonce bit. I can't even. Skeggy. I am coming to Skeggy. Oh, try the Ent Shed in Bedford. I'm doing it now that the mayor has said Ent Shed. Now that we've got a petition, now the mayor has said, now that the newspapers have had to correct, I'm trying to get back to Bedford. So Skeggy, I'll be at the Embassy Theatre on the 18th of May. 19th, Weston-super-Mare at the Playhouse. 25th of May, Stamford Corn Exchange. And 31st of May, Gatehouse Theatre, Stafford. So let me just give you a brief summary of that. You best be ready for Circus Tavern. Why do I rub my boobs? It's so childish. May 6th, that's going to go off, Circus Tavern. 13th, Blackpool. 18th, Skeggy. 19th, Weston-super-Mare. 25th, Stamford Corn Exchange. And 31st, Gatehouse in Stafford. So all of those are on Katie's Arms, right? .com under events. We'll blast them out to everybody. We'll do posters. And obviously what we're hoping for is that these guys will hold firm and hold fast and see that the public, ordinary people, are with us. That there's no harm, there's no nothing in this. This is fun. And we need these places to hold, because the more these hold in October, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 venues. And if you can find a theatre that will hold fast and there's nothing for them to be frightened of, only that will sell out, I'll be there. But this is May and I'm asking you to come. And I know we can't afford it. The tickets are like anything to do with us is the lowest price they'll do, which is 20 quid. And then they usually put like a booking fee on or something. But if you can come, bring your mates, come. And I promise you, just like in Blackpool, we danced in the bar beforehand. We danced in the bar afterwards. And it was just like a family. Everyone said they left feeling like, oh, life is going to be all right. That's what we're trying to bring. So help me find a theatre. I will go and meet any theatre director, owner that would have me. I'll come. Any bar owner, I'll come and meet them in person so they can see it. I'm not what I'm supposed to have been. I am a gobby twat and I am an arsehole and I say things I shouldn't. But damn it, it's about making people laugh and us getting through this winter and having something to look forward to in May, which I can't even... The thought of being able to be on a stage in the UK is just beyond me. Right, away. Does that mean away with you? I don't know. Parr Hall, Warrington. Right, Regent Theatre in Ipswich. I should be writing all of this down. And believe me, there's some venues in Portsmouth, in Weymouth, in Exmouth, in Bournemouth that we did have. But you know what just takes, honestly, it takes one person. And they will just, especially one person who has an idea of me or is against something I once said, maybe, you know, larger ladies who work in human resources and can't bear it that I'm having more fun than them. Fuck 'em. Right, my loves. Thank you for staying with me. How are we doing on the haul for Cornwall? You know, Cornwall would be a dream. It's my home. My parents and my family are farmers from St Kevin. Right, my loves. I will love you and leave you. I hope we're winning the football. I don't know, are we? And I won't give up. Please know that. Even if we lose any of those venues I just mentioned, we don't give up. We just keep getting back off the canvas, hauling ourselves up on the ropes and staring them back down, because you know each time you get up, they look at you and they know you're stronger than you were before. And at this rate, my darlings, I'm bloody invincible. So thank you. Do be in touch. Landlord, that's lovely, Mark. Landlord at Katie's Arms. I need to do some work on these. .com. Landlord at katiesarms.com. And I will, those messages do get through to me. And thank you. Oh, 0-0. Oh, God, how dull. I also saw that the brilliant men, if you're one of them, I owe you whatever you want from me. But if you went to Qatar dressed as a Christian crusader, if you were a Christian crusader at Qatar, get in touch. Free tickets to anything you want and more are on offer from me. Okay, thank you for joining me here at Katie's Arms. Remember, keep going till next week. If you think about topping yourself, don't. Because next week we'll toast the fact that we made it through another week in this bloody awful, festering, shitty country. Okay, love to everybody.